Hello students, welcome to Science Learning Gateway. I hope you all are doing good. So today we are going to discuss class 8 social science geography chapter number 3 and the name of the chapter is atmosphere. In this tutorial I am going to discuss all the question answers given in the textbook of geography from chapter number 3 atmosphere. I will explain each and every question so that it will be easy for you to learn and you can score good marks in your exam. Okay, so let's start with our discussion. Before starting guys, I have a small request from you all. If you are really liking my tutorial and channel, then please click on the like button and share it with your friends also. And don't forget to click on the bell icon so that whenever I will be uploading a new video, you'll get the notification for that. And if you're new to my channel, then please subscribe to it, okay? And you can also connect with me through my Facebook page. The link I will provide in the description box, right? So let's get started with the exercise question answers of chapter number 3, atmosphere. First we have fill in the blanks. Okay, first question is fill in the blanks. So let's see what are the fill in the blanks given in this question. First one we have the two major gases of the atmosphere are, from your junior classes you are learning that the composition of nitrogen, what is the percentage of nitrogen in the atmosphere? 78%, and oxygen is about 20 to 21%. So these nitrogen and oxygen are the two important gases present in the atmosphere. So what is the answer? The two major gases of the atmosphere are nitrogen and oxygen. Percentage of nitrogen is more, around 78%, and oxygen is 20 to 21% only. Okay. Next we have the lowest layer of the atmosphere is, what is the lowest layer of the atmosphere called? Troposphere. Okay. Troposphere. Learn the spelling correctly. Don't make spelling mistakes. Okay. Next we have question number 3. The average air pressure of the atmosphere at the sea level is. So what is the average air pressure at the sea level? It is 1013.25 MB. Okay, this is a unit for the air pressure over there. So it is 1013.25 MB. Okay, remember this one. Westerlies are also known as, so what are westerlies also known as? Anti-trade winds. Okay, westerlies are also known as anti-trade winds. Next one, the scientific study of weather is called meteorology. Like we have scientific study of fossils, scientific study of climate, scientific study of soil, etc. Like that only. For scientific study of weather is called meteorology. meteorology, meteorology. Right? So we have finished the fill in the blanks. Now we'll move towards the next question. Answer the following. Okay. In this we have question number 1. What is atmosphere? So what is atmosphere? Now we'll read the answer. Atmosphere is a thin layer of gases. So what is atmosphere? It is a thin layer of gases, dust particles and water vapor. So what are the things which are present in atmosphere? Gases are present, dust particles are present and water vapor is present. Which gases are present? Oxygen, nitrogen, carbon dioxide, those gases are present. So you have to write like this. Atmosphere is a thin layer of gases, dust particles as well as water vapor surrounding the earth. It is one of the layer of the atmosphere, so it will surround the earth. First sentence is this one. Second, what you write, this layer of gases forms protective boundary between the outer space and the earth's surface. The gases which are present in the atmosphere, what they will do? They will form a protective boundary between the outer space and the earth's surface. It is the second layer of the earth. So what is atmosphere? It is the second layer of the earth. Okay, at last you have to write like this. So once again we'll read the answer. It is a thin layer of gases, dust particles and water vapor surrounding the earth. This layer of gases forms protective boundary between the outer space and the earth's surface. It is the second layer of the earth. So you have to write the answer like this. Okay. Next, our question number 2 is, name the important layers of the atmosphere. So what are the important layers of the atmosphere? We know that it has 5 important layers. So you have to remember the 5 important layers of the atmosphere are, first one is your troposphere, Troposphere, troposphere. Second one is your stratosphere. Okay, first one troposphere, second stratosphere, third one is your mesosphere. Fourth one you have thermosphere and the fifth one is exosphere. So these are the 5 important layers of the atmosphere, starting from troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere and exosphere. Okay, remember this question is important. Okay, so remember all the 5 important layers of the atmosphere. Next we have, what is the significance of ozone layer? In science also you have read about ozone layer. So what is the function of ozone layer? It protects us from the harmful UV rays of the sun. If the harmful UV rays will reach to us, so what will happen? We can suffer from many diseases like skin cancer, cataract, etc. So ozone layer plays a very important role in protecting us from the harmful UV rays of the sun, harmful ultraviolet rays of the sun. So that answer will write over there. Okay. The ozone layer is the most important gas which absorbs the ultraviolet rays of the sun and protect all form of life on the earth. So what is it? It is a most important gas and it absorbs ultraviolet rays of the sun. So when ultraviolet rays will fall in the earth, ozone layer is present in the atmosphere. So what it will do, it will absorb the ultraviolet rays of the sun and it will protect all the living organisms on the earth, like it will protect the plants also, animals also, and even human beings also. This layer is free from clouds and other important phenomena and provides ideal flying condition for jet aircrafts. Next, what one more function we have for ozone layer? It is free from clouds. No clouds are present over there. So it provides a good condition, ideal condition for flying of jet aircrafts. Okay, in that layer, jet aircrafts will easily fly. So what is the significance of ozone layer? Two significance we have written in this answer. First one is, it is most important gas which will absorb ultraviolet rays. This ultraviolet rays you should remember, and from where this ultraviolet rays will come? From the sun, and it will protect all the living organisms on the earth. Second one, it is free from clouds and other phenomena, so it will provide a good condition or ideal condition for flying of jet aircraft. So this is the answer for ozone layer. Next question what we have, what is doldrum, where it is found? So what is doldrum? The equatorial low pressure belt is a zone of high temperature and low pressure. So this equatorial low pressure belt, this is one of the belt, okay, present in the atmosphere, equatorial low pressure belts. So it is a zone of high temperature and low pressure. So in this belt, equatorial low pressure belt, what is present? High temperature will be present and low pressure will be present, right? It lies between 0 to 5 degree north and south of the equator. Where it will lie? It will lie between 0 to 5 degree north and south of the equator. This region gets direct rays of the sun and almost throughout the year. Okay, in this region, throughout the year they will get the sunlight, sun rays. Hence air is always very warm. If they are getting the sunlight or sun rays throughout the year, so over there air will be warm and hot also. This is a calm region with very little wind. So what will be the region over there? It will be a calm region with very little wind, because as that region is warm and hot, so the wind will be also very little and the region will be calm. So it is known as doldrum. So what is the meaning of doldrum? Belt of calm. Okay, why it is called belt of calm? Because it is a very warm and hot region with very little wind. That's why it is called doldrum, means belt of calm. Also known as equatorial calm, right? This region is called intertropical convergence zones, ITCZ, where the trade winds converge. This region is also known as what? Intertropical convergence zones, where the trade winds, what the trade winds will do? They will converge over there. Converge, diverge. Converge means they will come and collect at a place, right? So once again we'll read this answer. What is doldrum and where it is found? So the equatorial low pressure belt, this is one of the belt where it is a zone of high temperature and low pressure. Over there high temperature will be there and low pressure will be there, and where it lies between 0 to 5 degree north and south of the equator. And what will happen in this region? This region they will get the sunlight throughout the year. So over there the air will be very warm and hot, okay, and the region is calm region with very little wind. So this region is known as doldrum, meaning belt of calm, also known as equatorial calm. This region is also called intertropical convergence zones, where the trade winds will converge. They will collect at a point. This is the answer for what is doldrum and where it is found. Okay. Next question what we have, name the different types of planetary events. So what are the different types of planetary events? How many types of planetary events we have? 3 types of planetary events we have. Okay, so first of all we should write what? First of all we should write the different names of the planetary events. Okay, the planetary winds are also called permanent winds or prevailing winds or regular winds. Okay, permanent winds, prevailing winds or regular winds, which blow more or less in the same direction throughout the year. Means these winds will blow in the same direction. Throughout the year they will blow in the same direction only. Suppose they are blowing in the east direction, then throughout the year they will blowing in the east direction only, right? Now, how many types of planetary winds we have? There are 3 types of planetary winds. And what are the names of 3 types of planetary winds? Trade winds, anti-trade winds and polar winds. Okay, trade winds, anti-trade winds and polar winds, right? So what are planetary winds? Planetary winds are also called permanent winds, prevailing winds, or regular winds. If you don't remember all the names, at least one name you should remember: planetary, P for planetary, P for permanent. You can remember like that, which blows more or less in the same direction throughout the year. Okay, and the three types of planetary winds are trade winds, anti-trade winds, and polar winds. This is the answer for fifth question. Next question what we have, what are local winds? Give any two examples. So first of all, we'll write the definition of local winds. What are local winds? Periodic winds are the result of variations in local temperature. Periodic winds. Periodic means which occur after a regular interval of time. Are the result of variations. Variations means temperature. Okay. These periodic winds will be caused because of the difference in local temperature. Variation in local temperature, pressure, humidity, which in turn are attributed to the formation of air currents crossing mountain ranges, valleys, and other relief barriers. So first of all, you should write what are local winds. Periodic winds are the result of variation in local temperature. Okay, this periodic winds are also known as local winds. Okay, so how they are formed? They are formed because of the variations or differences in local temperature, pressure, humidity, which in turn are attributed to the formation of air currents. Because of this, air currents will be formed crossing mountain ranges, valleys, and other relief barriers. These air currents, they will cross the mountain ranges, valleys, and other relief barriers. And what are the two examples of local winds? Land bridge and sea bridge. See, in both the terms we have written bridge. Only you have to remember land bridge and sea bridge. So this is the answer for sixth question. Now we have question number 7. Question number 7 is mention the different types of clouds. So what are the different types of clouds over there? The different types of clouds are stratus, stratus, S-T-R-A-T-U-S, the cumulus, C-U-M-U-L-U-S, the cirrus, and the nimbus cloud. So altogether we have 4 types of clouds: the stratus, cumulus, cirrus, and nimbus clouds. Okay, remember with the names with the spelling: stratus, cumulus, cirrus, and nimbus clouds. Right now, 8th question, we have to write the differences between the weather and the climate. For this, make 2 columns. Okay, first of all, we'll write the definition of weather. What is weather? The atmospheric condition of a smaller area at a particular time is called weather. Means, if you will take the atmospheric condition of a small area at a particular time, that is called weather. And climate is the average condition of the atmosphere over a long period of time for a larger area. But in climate, a large area is considered for the atmospheric conditions, and that also for a long period of time. Suppose 20 to 25 years also. If this for 20 to 25 years, if they have recorded the temperature of a particular area, then that is called climate. And weather will be for 1 week or 4 or 5 days, like that. Okay, so atmospheric condition of a smaller area at a particular time is called weather, and climate is the average condition of the atmosphere over a long period of time for a larger area. So in this weather, only small area is considered, that also for a very short time. But in climate, atmospheric condition is considered for a larger area and for a long period of time. The scientific study of weather is called meteorology, M-E-T-E-O-R-O-L-O-G-Y, meteorology, and the scientific study of climate is called climatology. These 2 differences you can write for weather and climate. Okay, first of all, you should write the definition, and second one you can add this one. The scientific study of weather is called meteorology, the scientific study of climate is called climatology. Or in the third point, if you want to write, if it will be for more marks, you can add one more point. Weather is considered for a smaller area, climate is for a larger area. That you can add, right? Next question we have, define the following. In this, some terms are given. For that, we have to write the definitions. First one is ionosphere. So what is ionosphere? Ionosphere, it is also known as what? It is also known as troposphere. Okay, ionosphere is also called troposphere. It is the lowest layer of the atmosphere. In the fill in the blanks, we have read that troposphere is called the lowest layer of the atmosphere. So that ionosphere is same as troposphere. Troposphere is only known as ionosphere. So it is the lowest layer of the atmosphere. It extends up to 18 km at the equator and 8 km near the poles. So it will extend up to 18 km at the equator, till 18 km to equator and 8 km near the poles. all weather changes occur in the troposphere. So whatever will be the weather changes, that all will occur in the troposphere. So once again I will repeat, ionosphere is called is also called troposphere. It is the lowest layer of the atmosphere. It extends up to 18 km at the equator and 8 km near the poles. All weather changes occur in the troposphere. At least you should write this one. It is called troposphere. It is the lowest layer of the atmosphere. All weather changes occur in the troposphere. Next we have normal lapse rate. So what is normal lapse rate? It is a decreasing rate of temperature with the increase of altitude. Means what is normal lapse rate? Decreasing rate of temperature will decrease with increase of altitude. Altitude means what? Height. When the height will increase, the temperature will decrease. So it is a decreasing rate of temperature with increase of altitude. The rate of decrease is 1 degree Celsius for every 165 meters of 6.4 degree for every 1000 meters of height. So what will be the rate of decrease of temperature? 1 degree Celsius for every 165 meters. As the height will increase for 165 meter, 1 degree temperature will decrease of 6.4 degree for every 1000 meters of height. So this is the rate of decrease of temperature. It is a decreasing rate of temperature with increase of altitude. Whenever the height will increase after 165, 1 degree temperature will decrease of 165 meter of 6.4 degree for every 1000 meter, and when the height will increase for 1000 meter, the temperature will decrease for 6.4 degrees. Next we have torrid zone. What is torrid zone? It is a zone of high temperature. So in torrid zone, the temperature will be very high. This region is found between 0 degree or equator and Tropic of Cancer in the north and equator and the Tropic of Capricorn in the south. So where will get the torrid zone? It is found between 0 degree or equator and Tropic of Cancer in the north and the equator and the Tropic of Capricorn in the south. Okay. Next we have horse latitudes. So what is horse latitudes? North subtropical high pressure belt is found between 30 degree to 35 degree north latitudes, popularly called horse latitudes. So north tropical high pressure belt is found between 30 to 35 degree north latitudes, and this is called horse latitudes. Next we have orographic rainfall. So what is orographic rainfall? It is also called mountain rainfall or relief rainfall. So orographic rainfall is also called mountain rainfall or relief rainfall. This you can write: when moisture laden air is obstructed by a mountain barrier, the air is forced to rise up. Whenever the moisture laden air will be obstructed by, when the air will carry some moisture, it will be obstructed by the mountain barrier. The air is forced to rise up. That time what will happen? The air will rise up. As the air rises upward, it cools and gets saturated. When the air will rise upward, what will happen? It will cool and gets saturated. Saturated means it will be clean. Further cooling of this air causes condensation, resulting in orographic or mountain rainfall. After that, what will happen? The cooling of the air, it will cause condensation. Condensation will occur, which will result in orographic or mountain rainfall. So once again, we'll repeat orographic rainfall. It is also called mountain rainfall or relief rainfall. When moisture laden air, when the air will carry moisture, it is obstructed by what? It will obstructed by the mountain barrier. Air is forced to rise up. After that, air will rise up. As the air will rise upward, it cools and gets saturated. When the air will rise upward, it will cool and it will get saturated. When further the air will cool, it cause condensation, resulting in orographic or mountain rainfall. And what is climatology? The scientific study of climate is called climatology. In the differences of weather and climate also we have read that scientific study of climate is called climatology. Next, terms to remember also I have added in this tutorial, that also you can read once. What is insolation? It is a solar radiation received in the Earth's atmosphere or at its surface. So what is insolation? When the solar radiation will receive on the Earth's atmosphere or at its surface, it is called insolation. Inversion of temperature. What is inversion of temperature? In some situation, temperature also increase with increasing height. When the height will increase, temperature will also increase in some situation. This takes place in mountain valleys during long winter nights with clear sky, dry air, no winds and snow-covered areas. So when it will occur, it can take place in mountain valleys. At what time? During winter's night. During winter night with clear sky, dry air, no wind and snow-covered surface. That time inversion of temperature can take place. When the height will increase, temperature will also increase. That is called inversion of temperature. Next we have anemometer. As we have as we have thermometers for measuring temperature, like that only anemometer is an instrument used to measure the speed of wind. Anemometer is used to measure the speed of wind. Next is roaring 40s. So what is roaring 40s? The westerlies of southern hemisphere are very strong over the oceans. Westerlies is a type of wind of southern hemisphere are very strong over the ocean, hence they are called roaring 40s, 40 degrees south latitude. Okay, so these winds are very strong over the ocean, hence they are called roaring 40s, 40 degrees south latitude. Next one, two more terms we have. Nimbus. Nimbus, we know it is a name of one of the cloud. Nimbus clouds are rain clouds which occur at low levels. Okay, they are the rain clouds which occur at low levels. These clouds have the shape of stratus or cumulus. Same shape like stratus or cumulus. They are dark grey or black in appearance. What is the color? Black or grey in color. They cause heavy rainfall or snowfall. Because of nimbus cloud, heavy rainfall or snowfall will occur. So they are the rain clouds which occur at low levels. They have the shape of stratus or cumulus. They are dark or black in color and they cause heavy rainfall or snowfall. As the name indicates, it is rain cloud, so it will cause heavy rainfall or snowfall. And the last we have meteorology. We have read already this term meteorology. What is this? It is a scientific study of atmosphere that focuses on weather processes and forecasting. So you can write that one. Meteorology is a scientific study of atmosphere that will focus on weather processes as well as on forecasting. So we have finished the question answers of this chapter. I hope you all have understood. If you have any doubt, go through the video once, read the answers. If you have any doubt, you can ask me in the comment section. I will try to clear your doubt. Thank you for watching my channel. And if you like this tutorial, then please click on the like button and share it with your friends. And don't forget to click on the bell icon so that whenever I will be uploading a new video, you'll get the notification for that. And if you're new to my channel, then subscribe to it. And you can also link with me with my Facebook page. The link I will provide in the description box. You can connect with me through that also. Okay. And go through the video. If you have any doubt, you can comment in the comment section, right? Thank you for watching my channel.